the homeless to really go, except for shelters and stuff, but there's stipulations at those shelters. And within reason, I mean, people take advantage of everything and aren't always on the up and up. I mean, there's all kinds of things you deal with out here. Addictions, um, active addictions, mental issues. Okay, I got mental issues. I'm an addict. I'm an ex-drug addict. I pulled myself off for a good long methamphetamine addiction. And was intravenous, plus doing crack, cocaine. Um, I'm 56 and never thought I'd be living like this and trying to turn myself around, but I enjoy Maine. I enjoyed it the first time I was here.
How long have you been homeless?
I lived here for 6 years, back from 2000 to '06. And then now I'm living here again. And wasn't in any trouble, turned my life around when I was here, was working and everything, met a woman, and we had one hell of a relationship. I mean, we were together for over 20 years. And she's living in Skowhegan right now, but she went on with her life because I made my mistakes. I pushed her away through my alcohol and my drug use. Um, but once you get into, and the thing that people got to realize, in society today, and the way the economy is today, and the way finances go with people, really, in all reality, people are one day away, one instant away from being homeless.
One paycheck, $1.
One loss of anything
Absolutely,
will
yeah.
change your life.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
And you don't think about it in your everyday occurrences in life. Okay, I'm going to work, I'm taking care of my kids, I'm visiting my aunt, my uncle, my mom, my dad, my wife. You go through your everyday life and you don't realize what you're missing out on until you get out here on the street. I showed up with 2 bags and a food bag and ended up with nothing a week after I was here. But I had things I was trying to take care of, get into the shelter. And I've been signing up to the Bangor shelter.
Yep.
But one of their regulations are you can't get in there if you're from out of state.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'm not from the county, not from Bangor. Because the last time I was in Maine was '06. They have the Hope Shelter, Hope House, up towards the airport, I believe, up on top of Union. But one reason I'm not going there is because I'm trying to stay away from the drugs, and the drugs are out here. They're everywhere. And just because I came up here from North Carolina doesn't mean that I can't do drugs. I smoke weed every day. I can drink alcohol every day. I don't, but I can. And it's available. I'm a kind person. I try to help out. If somebody's living a life that I'm living, and it's a rough one. Okay, I don't mean to add to the chaos, the hurt, the pain, the anger that a lot of people out here have. And there's a misunderstanding and a stigma coming from regular society that we're lazy. We don't want to go to work. We want people to take care of us our whole life. We want to rob from the government. We want to do all the negative things. Let's get realistic. In some people, maybe that's true. Okay, maybe that's why they're doing it.
Sure.
But I'm not out here trying to figure out who that is and point them out and this, that, and the other deal. If I can help someone that's living in the same situation I'm living in, just a little bit to get through the day, to make the day a little bit easier when it's a rough one. Okay, you got a time frame at day shelter. You can go in there, get something to drink, go to the bathroom, get something to eat at lunchtime. That's a free lunch. If you don't have food stamps, you don't have a job to go to, it's hard to get through the day.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a shower.
Yeah.
They have places that offer that. The Brick Church, Together Place. There are places out here.
Really?
To be able to do that.
Okay.
But there's a process that everybody has to go through to get off the street. And it takes a second to end up there. And it takes months years to get off. I started down in North Carolina, and they don't have the programs that this state has as far as homeless. Um, but it all depends, really, where the person's mindset is and what they want to do with their life. It really is. But I'm not out here to play judge, jury, and executioner. Nothing. You know, I do it with cigarettes, food, water, clothes. I'll help move from the park where we can be at to back over to the sidewalk. That's my bed over on the sidewalk right there by CACS.
Now, I had talked to another girl earlier, and she had mentioned that when it gets dark, that this part closes and you guys get booted
Yep, 10 o'clock.
at 10 o'clock. So
At
where
10.
do you go from there?
We go from right here to right over. See that tree right there? There's a sidewalk. Can't be up on the grass. Well, there's people up on the grass at night, but you're not supposed to be on the grass. That's CHCS's property, and they don't want that. Okay. So by 6 o'clock in the morning, you have Burlington police officer come up and wake everybody up and threaten to arrest, threaten to trespass, and CT, criminally trespass. In other words, you'll be banned from it for a year. And you can find a place else in Bangor to go. Don't go to sleep. Don't sleep on a public place. However, right there, they allow it. They don't mess with you if you stay on the sidewalk. And that's every day. Every day you're worrying about where your food's coming from. Every day you're worrying about where you're going to the bathroom. Every day you're worrying about how to shower. Who's going to be walking by you at nighttime when you're trying to sleep and going to take your stuff.
What is an average day for you?
An average day, I wake up at anywhere between 5:30 and 6 at the earliest, but I don't go to bed and fall into a deep sleep 1 o'clock in the morning, because there's a different type of person that comes out at nighttime. Okay, and they don't care. People out here just do not care, because there's a whole lot of negative feedback from people that are supposed to help, people that should be able to help. Me personally, there's a lot of what the Bangor Police Department will tell you you can't do as far as homeless. But when you ask them, what can we do? Where can we go? So we're not bothering anybody, and we're not going to interfere with things that they have to do. Oh, we can't tell you that.
No one else has a vehicle that I know.
That's their answer. They can't tell us what we can do, only what we can't do.
If someone
Interesting.
comes to me when I need
Very.
help.
Very interesting. But that is not any different from anywhere else, really.
Yeah.
It's like that in North Carolina. It was like that in Pennsylvania. It's like that in other states. It's like that in New York, worse than New York, New Jersey.
What do you think the biggest misconstruction of being out here is? Like, what do you think that the narrative that the news gets wrong is?
The news gets wrong.
As far as social media as well, I mean, people like to throw their opinions out there quite a bit about what you guys are going through, but I don't see any of them out here. I don't see a single person out here asking you guys a question. I don't see the news out here. I don't see anybody out here.
There's churches.
Your
that come
perspective.
out. There's church. Yeah, you don't have anybody that's going to put it out there where the actual public, the civilian world, all they do is drive around. They see people walking around. They see things with everybody. They see everybody lined up on the sidewalk at nighttime if they drive down this road. Okay. They see the organized fundraising things that churches do. They'll come out here. They'll feed us Mondays at 4:30. We'll have food. We'll have water. There's another big church, New Beginnings, that do clothing, haircuts, and stuff like that. But there's no news agencies out here. Only when the bad stuff happens, because there's fights out here with a younger generation. They're immature. They're not, fully mature into adulthood. They're trying to get there, and they don't have no place to go. Okay, There's no stories where the city, if the city doesn't like the homeless or the state don't like the homeless, there's no upbringings to take buildings that are abandoned and use them to house the homeless, to give them something to work towards going back to work, bettering their life.
So you're saying there's no incentive?
No, for a lot of it, or it's killed with the stigma. So, but that doesn't mean that we have to treat each other mean out here. And my group of people that I call my people, we take care of each other. Sorry about that, kid. We try to help take care of each other. Little things. I mean, the major stuff you got to do it your own. You know, the big thing about it is addiction. A lot of it. You know, but you could have natural disasters in other places that put people on the street, and they just want to get their life going again. Which is, I made a change to get away from drugs. I found it up here, but I'm determined to get my feet back underneath it. Which means I'm not going for drugs. I'm going to get my ID changed, get a job, hopefully get into the shelter, which I'm refused on a daily basis there, as far as a bed. But I'll help out, and I do that out of appreciation that I get a free meal at lunchtime. I get a place to go get morning coffee in the morning. And they're not mean. They're not mean to me. But the way the policies are written, the way the policies are made, yes, you got to think of the bad as much as the good and set them up to where everything is controlled and flows a different way. And you got the federal government that's involved with stuff. And it's just a very big mess. And it's not easy to get out of it.
So you're not actively out here seeking drugs and trying to purposely not do anything with your life. You are trying to change it around.
But everything's a time frame. Everything's a process because of the real ID stipulations. You know, and you're from out of state, so you got a certain time frame that you got to get a Maine ID. Well, in my situation, I lost everything. When I was down in North Carolina, I have a bad expired North Carolina ID. It's got my information on it, where my house was, my age.
Oh, I know.
You know, well, it's 2 years old, but you can get enough information off of that. But places are calling it invalid. They're calling it, they're not accepting it. So then, with someone who's homeless, not working, things cost money every day. I mean, it's just the way life is. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it takes it twice as long. You got CHCS, they'll help you mentally. The doctors up there by the Hope House will help you medically. But if you don't have you fly for Maine, carry food stamps, which I did. Checking out my VA benefits finally. Getting that done. Now my rep's going to be here Thursday from Augusta and stuff like that. You have to work at this yourself to get off the street. Nobody's going to come to you, here's a silver platter, unless somebody's like that. Okay.
I don't know many.
And they got it like that.
Yeah.
And they can pull a couple off the street.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's not how it normally goes.
Right.
Okay. And if you're out here not showing you're trying to do anything, they won't help you.
Do you think a lot of people are inactively trying to better themselves, or do you think a lot of people out here are trying to better themselves and just are in a rock and a hard place?
I think a lot of people have started to become comfortable in a situation that they can't get no help in because they've been turned down, frustrated, they're upset, they got mental issues, like I said, they got mental issues, they got drug addictions, but there's no easy pathway to become unhomeless. There's no easy path. without you doing the work, without you showing the interest and the incentive and the determination.
So what do you think?
Motivation is killed around.
Yeah.
It is. Motivation is killed. So you got a drug addict. Well, they want to help me get off drugs, and they're going to help with this, but I'll get help with that, and I'll get help with this, but I'm still not going to have a place to stay. Or I stay in a place, and I got a high school list of rules I got to follow, and I'm an adult. It's all in how that perception is and how it's taken. And a lot of times it's wrong. But they, as they always say, not going back into cliches, but a couple will ruin it for everybody.
Yep.
Okay. But the situation nationally is not getting better. It's not getting better at all. What they're doing up in Washington, D.C., which, okay, we're supposed to have control of some of it. We voted the people in there, in the office and stuff like that. But the changes come too slow. The benefits come too slow. And like I said, people don't understand. You blink once and your life changes just like that. Next thing you know, you're on the street with a suitcase, a duffel bag, or nothing on what you wear. And what you gonna do? How you gonna live? You get out of a dumpster? Sure. Go behind a restaurant. They throw good food away all the time. They don't do it on purpose, but the waste of food coming from restaurants is unreal.
Mm.
Okay? And that's feeding people that Burlington, North Carolina. The first 3 weeks I was on the street, Outback Steakhouse on Huffman Mill Road fed me. They didn't know they fed me, but they fed me.
Fair enough.
And the bushes that were around the backside of it, well, part of those bushes was my bathroom. The far end was where I slept.
Because I can't be here for a fucking year.
And you also deal with the up and coming generation that have mental issues that should be treated somewhere to help them get through their life. And they're out here to deal with outside.
Do you think that seems to be the most common issue amongst people as far as the younger generation is mental health and the way the world is right now and just how daunting it is for everybody?
The vast changes evolving, social media, the changes in bullying, the lack of parenting, the restrictions that parents have now, and motivation has been killed. I mean,
Yeah.
Society has changed dramatically from when I was raised, okay? And I wasn't raised in that great of a situation. My first time I ever experienced being homeless was 14 years old.
Wow.
And I'm 56. Dysfunctional family, whatever term you want to put to it, I came from. But I also made my own share of wrong decisions and behaviors and choices that I made that didn't help me. You know, it helped. You have to be willing to accept that you made some problems with yourself, and this is the result. This can be the result. But my main thing is, when I came back to Maine this time, was I'm going to show people up here the places that I'm trying to get help from, that I didn't come to this state to mooch. I didn't come here to hurt society. I didn't come here to hurt or be mean and belittle and put down and just be an ass. I mean, yeah, do I have reasons to be angry? Hell yeah, I got reasons to be angry.
Absolutely.
Do I have reasons to just not say nothing to nobody and not trust no one? Sure. Week after I was here, I had my shit robbed from me. And I seen the stuff 2 weeks after that going down the road.
Oh,
I didn't go chasing for it.
You just let it go?
I just let it go. Because I replaced some of it.
But how do you just let go of all you have? I mean, if that's all you got to your name and you see it walking away, how do you just be like, there it goes. It is what it is.
Is it more important for me to concentrate on getting myself off the street and the people that I'm around and be kind and nice to them, or chase my bags down the road, that things I had in those bags, they ain't there. They're using those things for what they need for. So I'm chasing for no reason. Gonna cause a fight for no reason. Where I can take my energy and my thought process and go investigate getting help at CHCS to get me out of this situation. And I continue to help, and I try to push that, try to get people's motivation. Until you change your thought process and start walking down a different road, it's not going to change, and you'll be homeless. So, but there isn't really enough places out there to help the homeless. And the problem is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
What do you think's lacking the most for assistance? I mean, where do you think they're failing the most as far as help?
The most, the security of a roof over your head. Other things can be figured out and worked on, but always constantly on guard, worrying about your safety and your security takes precedence. What you have, you're going to protect. What people that mean something to you, you're going to protect. If you can't protect yourself really with a roof, then it's like nobody really cares. You get that. You get depressed. You fight depression. And then what's the point? What's it worth? Okay, I can't do this. I get knocked down here. I get knocked down there. So why should I try? Now they try and help. Don't get me wrong. There's good people there at CHCS. Their path team is awesome. Okay, they're helping me, but the help comes slow. Okay, there's only so much room at the Bangor shelter. Okay, the states and the cities, I don't think were ever planning or thinking about a epidemic of homelessness happening in the country. And whether they want to look at it and agree to it and admit to it, it's there. Well, they can sugarcoat it and blame it on, well, that person's lazy, or that person did this, or that person did that. Well, the point is, they're homeless. They have no place to live. Right. So, if you would take your point and you would stay on the street with nothing and don't run into anybody that's going to be willing to tell you how to get through it, what would you do? First person you meet will run up to you with whatever they got in their hands and take your shit. What would you do?
I don't know.
That's questions that our own political government will not answer. The ones that run the town won't answer. They'll turn it right back to the problem of the person, not the problem of society.
Right.
So I don't blame society for it all. The close-sightedness of it
Right.
is what they got.
Right. Yeah, I think people hold an image in their head of what homelessness is like. Absolutely. I think they think a lot of people out here are just heroin heads who are literally just want to do nothing. And I personally don't think that's the case. I know people who are homeless. I know people who've been homeless. Great people. And it's like you said, it's one paycheck away from kiss your house goodbye, everything you love. All because maybe potentially got fired over the dumbest thing, or they didn't have enough work.
Now, if people that have other finances are a lot. You know, if you've got finances and you run into one problem, you can kind of correct it a little bit or get by enough and keep something and keep something over your head, you know. But if you lose everything, no money, no place to live, no clothes, no food, no way to get around, it's rough, it's hard. And you got to start somewhere, and you try and turn to the agencies that the state have or the city have, and some states and cities can help you out, some can't. You know, they had a big issue down in North Carolina where a place called Tent City. Well, this tent city was between Durham and Raleigh.
Okay.
To the tune of 800 people in a tent city.
Wow.
In the woods along 40, 540, 440, and 421.
800?
800
Wow.
in one area.
And how big's the area?
It was 5 miles in circumference.
Wow.
Isn't it a nice day today?
It sure is.
Okay, so I want to buy some cigarettes.
You are. Okay. How much do you have? What do you want?
I haven't got shit.
What do you got?
$3. I need these for bus tickets. Fuck.
Give me $1. You need $2? I got a bus ticket in my pocket. Give me $1.
What do you want for that whole box?
This whole box.
Oh, thank you.
I want you to be safe,
I'm safe. Always.
and I hope your day goes good. Rest of
Going
the day.
good now.
That's what I can get in there. You got that for $1. You're welcome.
Just
You
joking.
need that bus ticket?
Oh, the bus ticket. Do you have a bus ticket? Oh. Uh-oh.
Ma'am,
I need this seems like
ma'am. Now,
Oh, I need
in
pants.
some respects, somebody would say, why'd you do that? I did that to be kind. I did that to help. I can have tobacco. I charge $0.25 a cigarette. Like, I'm not going to be hurt. And to help her get where she needs to go to get through her day, makes me feel good.
So there is camaraderie out here.
Yes,
It's not all hate.
it's not all hate, heart, discontent.
I mean, it's kind of beautiful in a way. I mean, you're all going through the shit together.
Yeah,
It's a silver lining, I guess, is
a lot of times
you're all
you don't-
hating it, not
Yeah.
just one.
And a lot of times you don't see that. But that's me, that's how I am. But I was raised at a different time. I was raised where neighbors help neighbors. Communities help communities out a lot stronger. People treated each other differently. But the more the negative stuff happened, the more scamming somebody, taking somebody for what, you know, a nice guy treating them bad. The more that happened, the more things changed.
Yeah.
And the more things got difficult.
Yep.
Because people aren't always genuine,
No.
you know.
I feel like people are more disingenuous nowadays about a lot of things when they don't need to be.
There's no trust. I might be wrong because I'm not a psychologist. Or
I don't
whatever,
think you're wrong.
and I don't analyze society all the way, but I think instead of living in a together, you know, communities come together in disasters. Don't get me wrong, they do. But on a normal daily basis, paranoia way of life. Paranoia opens up a whole messy realm of feelings and unsecure thoughts and stuff like that coming through. And maybe misvisions and stuff like that on things. You might not see it exactly the way it goes. depending on a person's understanding and stuff. But I swear up and down, and I've told many, many people out here, they ask me why I do, why I'm kind and stuff like that. Well, how would you rather me be? Disrespectful and hate and want to fight you? Or you want me to, be respectful anyway, say hi to you, acknowledge that I see you, that you're on the planet,
Do you like find that people reciprocate that? Like, are most civilians kind?
For the most part. For the most part. There are ones that don't say nothing. There's ones that say hey and just keep going. They don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you deal with a whole spectrum of demeanors.
Sure.
So, but for the most part, if you're gonna, and I don't get the trusting feeling from people right away. But I'm not gonna stop doing how I am. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna let the negative change me.
So even though people are reserved, you kind of have to be the light in the world of darkness, right?
So, yeah,
It's got to be a beacon of hope somewhere.
Yeah. That no matter how bad things can get, you can still try and have a decent day. You don't have to have it a miserable day where you're worried about getting arrested and getting locked up. You don't have to worry about somebody coming and cutting your throat at nighttime. Depending on where you're at, though, you got to worry about that. And that's a fact. But I don't have to be an ass. Because it's nobody's fault up here why I'm here. I'm angry about a lot of things, but I'm angry with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's nobody else's fault here. So it's not right for me to take out my anger with myself on somebody else. That's not right.
I guess I'll wrap it up on what do you think people, what do you want to tell people most about the situation, the misinformation, etc.? What do you want to clarify for people about homelessness? Above all else.
Above all else, keep walking, keep moving, keep pushing ahead. Don't let it defeat you. All right? Don't stop trying to change your life. Don't stop trying to change your whole situation. And hey, how you doing?
I had to leave the house because they were trying to get a felony charge on me.
Yeah.
Where's Jeannie?
They went up that way somewhere and they're taking a break. I don't know exactly
What's the
where
rest
they
of
went.
this?
Don't smoke, but thank you.
I'll give you the rest of that.
Well,
It's too strong. I got my vape on me. I got a vape from a friend.
Okay, now you're making me double fist a cigarette. All right. I've done it plenty of times.
Yeah. I gotta go to the docks for a swim.
All right, you be safe. So.
Hey, Goose, you want help with one of those?
Yeah, come on.
I got you, homie. Good looks, big dog.
Don't.
I think what I've noticed is the crazy part is people out here are nicer to each other than in the day-to-day working world. Ain't that something?
It is.
Ain't that a
We
miracle?
can't, but at the
You all are
same
at your
time,
lowest point in life, but you somehow find camaraderie.
Keep striving forward, but don't be blind. Don't be naive. Don't think that this is a piece of cake by any means. It's one of the hardest things in the world to do.
So what gets you up every day? What's your drive?
My drive is to build my life back. My drive is to wake up, provide the good Lord up above allows me to wake up, which I thank Him every day for that. From the depths that I went to in my life, I'm grateful for it now. Understand the hardships, learn from this, and keep striving forward. Don't ever let it knock you back and stop, man. Don't think that you can trust everybody out here.
It's definitely a learning experience, dude.
Damn right it is. Because not everybody out here is like the way we are. Okay, we've been talking and we're getting to know each other and decent. But everybody has their own opinion, their own process,
Old story.
and their own story. Yep.
Well, anybody who is ready to tell their story next, I'll come back any day you want me to. We'll talk.
You'll have one heck of a podcast thing you said you were doing.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
YouTube?
It'll be called the Privateers Podcast.
Okay.
My name's Cody.
Cody, my name's Robert.
Robert.
They call my goose.
Nice to meet you.
I got that from, that's another story. I won't put it on there.
That's up to you. These interviews, I should mention that too, is they're completely raw and honest. And that's really what I want to give people, the real deal. Not sugar-coated, not lies, not manipulation, not misinformation. It's really out in the heart of it.
I would love to see, and I would love for people to understand that if people out there can see how bad this can get and how bad this is, not can get, it is. And you can change your life around, taking the right steps, trusting the right people, doing it the right way, not fighting and arguing. And, that's not getting you anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But if you can turn your life around in a positive way, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. But what has to stop is the leading path to this. And that's a confusing mess of things. And it all can happen just like that. And I don't have all the answers to everything. I don't have good days. Like today my main thing I'm trying to dwell on, how do I get the information I need to get my ID so I can take one more step forward in it. Because I'm running into roadblocks. But I got a VA rep coming Thursday, and I'll see what avenues I can use with that and what information, because I can't get my birth certificate without a Maine ID. They won't use my North Carolina one. So I'm kind of...
Go figure.
Yeah, I'm in between a rock and a hard place, but that's because my North Carolina was in bad. Okay. But it's the only thing I have. And with losing everything, it's hard to get those things back. It is. It takes time.
Yeah.
And, people just eventually figure, well, fuck it. I don't have any time. The hell with it. I'm just going to continue just to survive each day. And sometimes it's not surviving the day, it's surviving minutes of that day.
Yeah.
It's surviving hours of that day. So, and sometimes people end up going to jail. They would much rather get three hots in the cot. They would, because they're not here. They got a roof over their head. Okay, that's not a solution.
Yeah.
There's no life to you when you're locked up.
No.
There's none.
No.
In my life, I spent time locked up in prison. I mean, I deserved it, but that's altogether different bird of life in there. You can't apply the two together. Like, you can't apply what the philosophies in prison are to the philosophies out here.
Right.
They're two different things. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So, well, it doesn't work. I mean, you can try, but it don't work. So, I just try to stay positive every day. Do something every day to try and move in a forward direction. Whether that's make somebody else smile during that day, give them some water to get through that day, help them get through their nicotine addiction. I'll drink. I'll smoke weed. If I can find it, sure, let's do it. It's to make the day easier, because nighttime is a different bird.
So even with nothing, you're a giver.
Yes.
That's pretty miraculous. Try finding that in a lot of places or in a lot of people.
It's not around anymore.
No, you're a
But I
dying
see
breed,
it.
my man.
I guess I am. I don't know. I'm from the generation where it was almost at its end with people in society. I mean, that's how people used to survive.
Well, let me ask you this. What's one thing you would tell the youth about treating others or up and coming?
Seriously think about how you want to be treated by other people. How do you want people in society to know you. What type of person do you really want to be? Because there will be a day you're not here. Well, what's your memory going to be? What's your legacy going to be if you have one? Okay. What kind of remembrance do you want your kids, your family, your family? Hopefully, if you're here, you know your kids will outlive you. You know, but what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody that nobody trusts, nobody thinks has a brain in their head, or is just a drug user, or is a thief, or just commits crime? What kind of person do you want them to think you are? And that used to be important. Treat people out there how you want to be treated, and it speaks loud volumes out here on the street.
So you think manners goes a
Yes.
long way?
Yes.
I agree.
Manners and respect.
The two biggest things that go a long way.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more on that one.
Yes.
So with that said, I'll wrap it up on that one. That was excellent, and I appreciate it so much.
You're welcome. Good meeting you.